Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching me from. My name is Chadi Kobe Henry, and you are welcome to episode 3 of Noduckingzone, where we discuss combat sports, MMA, and Muay Thai. And I can say it was a quite interesting weekend but let's just recap what happened last weekend between Oshaki Foster and Raymond Ford. The fight took place in Houston, Texas, where let me just say at the backyard of Oshaki, who happens to get the win on unanimous decision because I saw the whole fight as is a beef, a long time beef between the two of them. One, Oshaki Foster was the more aggressive and the more technical fighter, yeah, between them. He won the fight fair and square. But at the end of the whole thing, he went and called Ashako Stevenson, and they had a little back and forth in the ring. But at the end of the whole thing, there was never any agreement of both of them fighting each other. Rather they have different paths. If they met on the wrong run, that means there is fate that decide for them to meet. But currently, Shakur Stevenson is fighting between 140 and 135. He's not moving to 170, 147 at any time. And that is has been the stumbling block between the fight between Shakur Stevenson and the Devin Haney. Haney is uh, Henny wants the fight to be at 147, and Shakur said he's not ready to move to 147. Yes, yes, and I believe if the fight with Shakur is not fruitful, then the fight between Keishon Davis and Devin Haney might be the one we'll be expecting sooner or later. And that was last week, and this week the events we have been anticipating, the UFC 250 freedom to mark American independence and the President Trump's independence. There was a lot of fights, and there is a record that every single fight that happened in the every fight on the card was ended with a TKO or a knockout. First of all, the main event between Ilya Matador Tuporia and the Justin the highlights Geji for the lightweight title, and Sierra Ghana and Watan Alex Pereira fought for the interim heavyweight champion, while Sean O'Malley faced Ayman Zabib, a Canadian MMA fighter, and Michael Chandler faced Mauricio Rufy, Boneko, and Diego Lopez. Both came out gun blazing and they watched both their fights. And Diego Lopez got it right this time around against Steve Garcia. And the most anticipated fight of the whole week, Josh Hawkins and Derek Lewis. We'll see breakdown, but this is the whole card for the UFC Freedom 250. All right, welcome back. We are back from a little break, and I think we will start our analysis from Bo Nico. Bo came out in an impressive fashion. He did his thing. He got the TKO win. And the most important thing was his game has improved greatly. We will be hoping to see him on the next stage, maybe UFC 230, 330 or 331 thereabouts, or even a title shot. We can't tell. UFC can do anything they wish to once they see it as appropriate. And the next one, Josh Hawkins. It was a very impressive fight from Josh Hawkins. And I forgot something. Boneko got his fight the way he deserves it. It's a TKO win for him. And let's go over to Derek Lewis and Josh Hawkins. So the most important, interesting thing about this fight was the build up. The build up was filled with a lot of emotion, a lot of vulgar words, a lot of words that are not supposed to be said or to be used on an adult. For me, whenever you mention my mom, if we are having a dispute and you bring my mom, my wife into it, then I'm ready to cross the line and we can throw hands, we can do anything that you feel that you can be able to do. But that's past. So Josh Hawkins came and he delivered. He knocked out Derek Lewis second round into the fight, and he was still calling out Alex Pereira. The fight was an interesting fight, but Josh was the superior fighter. And then we move over to the fight that made me really enjoy UFC 250. And I was also surprised by the improvement of Mauricio Rufy. His game has improved, his leg kick, every techniques. He has been, let me just say he was phenomenal last time. He was phenomenal. He got the first round knockout against Michael Chandler, a war veteran Michael Chandler. He put his light out before the second round, and that was an impressive fight. He gave it all. He was hitting him with a lot of combination and with a lot of spinning kick, everything. Chandler couldn't survive it. I'll give it up to Chandler. He's still fighting, even approaching the age of 40. He's still fighting and he's still active. I give it up to him. It's not easy. A lot of his mates has retired. A lot of his mates is not even relevant in the industry. But he keep going harder. Yeah, so it's a pity he lost to a good athlete and a young hot blood athlete in Mauricio Rufy, who has 12 wins, one loss so far in the UFC. And Michael Chandler has 24 wins, 10 losses, and 0 draw. Then moving to Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia. It was a second round TKO where both of them were active, both of them were exchanging punches. Both of them were exchanging jab until Diego Lopez connected with an overhead shot that dropped Steve Garcia, sorry, and that was it. He got the TKO victory. And moving over to Ayman Zabib versus Sean O'Malley. It was an interesting fight because the Canadian has bad blood already with Sean Strickland. Building up to the fight, both of them were saying a lot of trash among each other. But when it got to time to talk the talking, Zabib was not up to standard, and Sean put him out and on the second round and called out the current champion, Peter Yan. Maybe I think Mirab Development is in line for the bantamweight title, but I think if Peter Yan retains, it might be Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley for the rematch. And Sean O'Malley got the win, second round TKO, and he has moved to 20 wins, 2 losses, and 0 draw. While Ayman Zahabib remains 14 wins, 3 losses, and 0 draw. And moving into the main event, the main event and the co-main event, we will be starting up with Justin Alex Pereira. We'll be starting off with Alex Pereira versus Siriagan. Building up in the fight, everybody thought that Siriagan might lose, but some podcasts analysts predicted that Alex might win because of his punching power, but the athleticism of Siriagan was too much for Alex Pereira in the fight. Alex couldn't do the things he normally do. I believe the increase in weight might have played a very important role in him not being able to move. And before he walked into the jab of uh, Siragan, where Siragan capitalized, but it shows that Alex Pereira has a chin. He survived the onslaught, got back to his feet, tried to continue brawling with Siriagan until Syria connected another punch that disoriented Alex Pereira, where Max Woodman, the referee, have to step in. And it was a very sad event because if Pereira had won that fight, he would be the first person to be a three division champion in the UFC. And now uh, Siriagan has tallied the record of being two-time interim champion with Justin Gage. Both of them are the only people that has interim champion, two-time interim champion in the division. And it was a very sad event that Alex vacated his light heavyweight title just to chase his dream and chase greatness by being the first person to be three division champion. And I'm sorry he fell short, but there's no harm in trying. He did a very good job. He has been winning all this while. He has been doing a lot of good. He has been giving the UFC fans a lot of good performance. So, Shama to him. Anyway, if he sees this video, I really love you, and I want you to know that I'm one of your biggest fans from Nigeria. Then we move over to the second main event of the night between Ilya El Matador Topuria and Justin the Highlights Gage. This fight has been the talk of the MMA world. Everybody was giving his prediction, and everybody was giving their prediction and tagging Justin as an underdog. Man, I understand, but Justin Gage just proved that he is one of a kind, a special rare talent. He's the only one that has ever put Tupuria in such conditions. I would say that he beat Tupuria, that fight was a beat down. Ilya is a good boxer, he's a good wrestler, he's a good grappler. He's good in all round and he has a breaks of hand. If he hits you, if he connects, if you're not knocked out, he will definitely wobble you. He has overcome a lot of champions from a lot of legends, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, and a lot of them, many. And up till now, no one has ever given him a tough fight until UFC Freedom 250, where he met Justin the Highlights Gage. Justin was hitting him with a lot of jab. The wrestling wasn't working for Ilya, but the stand-up game, he was giving Justin a lot of issue. The body shot was overwhelming. I thought Justin will feel it, or if the body shot will impact the fight, but Justin kept hustling. He kept pushing, and he kept going. There's a many times that he connected that he hurt Tupuria very much. That Tupuria has to recycle and reset. That was when I know that Ilya is in a big trouble because body language is saying otherwise. Body language is not moving along with the fight. Maybe his adrenaline reduced after the third round because he said that he will knock uh, Justin out in first round, but that didn't work. Heading into the third round, the referee waved the fight off, but Ilya insisted on fighting, on continuing on the fight. Then they entered round four, and he took a lot of damages, both knee, elbow, a knock everywhere that made the both eye was he couldn't see, and it was a doctor stoppage, and just engaging walked home with the UFC lightweight title, and it was a very important week in the UFC community, and it's a very important week in the boxing community. And before I wrap things up, let's not forget that just Bam Rodriguez is now a three-time world champion, defeating Vegas and becoming a three-time world champion at just a young age. It's an impressive feat. So I would love to give him a shout out. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, you're doing a great job and keep it up. And let's not forget that UFC Fight Week happened last week, and Bilal Mohammed fell short, and he is now on a three fights losing streak. I believe in him, and I know he will bounce back. I know he will bounce back. And before I conclude and before I close for today's episode, I would like to rate the UFC Freedom card, and I will rate it 9 over 10. Everything was smooth, the atmosphere, every aspect of the event was very sweet. So, and Dana and Hunter, they put out a amazing, a very amazing card where there was never a boring fight throughout this card, and I love it. So please and please, I don't have any other thing to say. I've given you the recap of what happened in the weekend in the boxing community. Please do well and share, like, share, comment. If I'm not doing it right, I'm a person, I'm a human being. You can correct me, you can write me on my private message and put me through on what to do. I will be really happy to accept it. If you feel like you can criticize me, do it. I will love it. If you don't learn from criticism, you cannot learn from your private and comfort zone. So please do well and engage on my comment section. Any question you have, I will answer. If there is any record I got wrong, you still put me right. We are all human beings. All these things that you're seeing is coming right from my own. I'm not a machine, but I believe that by God's grace, inshallah, we will progress, and a lot of people will know us in the future. Thank you. Thank you very much. I still remain your host, Chadiko B. Henry Chukoma, and this is the end to the episode of Noduckingzone, and now a new American champion has been added to the UFC roster. Shout out to Justin. You did an amazing job. Thank you, and God bless you. Tune in to No Docking Zone and follow us for more. God bless you.